Yo, what's up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, David Benavidez and his next fight has been announced. Goes down on the 15th of June, takes place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and it's going to be on the undercard of Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. Benavidez will be competing at light heavyweight, and I believe the WBC interim light heavyweight title will be on the line. And he is fighting Oleksandr Gvozdyk, the former WBC and lineal light heavyweight champion. Of course, he beat Adonis Stevenson back in the day to claim that crown. Of course, he then went on to try to unify against Artur Beterbiev in a competitive fight, but ultimately he was beaten down and stopped. Following the Beterbiev loss, Gvozdyk retired for about 3.5 years, but he came back in 2023 and he's been on the comeback trail. He's 37 years old, and last year he had 3 fights. 2 of those fights were kind of like smaller fights. One was a 6-rounder, one was an 8-rounder. He won those fights comfortably, looked okay, but he also had a 10-rounder on the Canelo Ryder undercard. He fought Rikard Zbolotniks, who is, I would say, a European-level light heavyweight. And in that fight, Oleksandr Gvozdyk dealt with Bolotniks very well. And the reason I bring that fight up is because Bolotniks is the best guy he's fought on his comeback. And he took care of Bolotniks in good fashion, knocked him out in 6 rounds, was very accurate with his jab, his straight right hand. He was countering Bolotniks throughout that fight, splitting the guard with the uppercut. Looked very precise in that fight, and his timing wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, and his rhythm was pretty good as well. He was moving well, he seemed comfortable, and it made me think that, yeah, this guy can still compete at light heavyweight. Do I think he'd beat a Beterbiev or Bivol now? No, but I still think he'd give guys a lot of trouble below that. I mean, look at how Joshua Buatsi dealt with Bolotniks and compare it to Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk did a much better job, and, you know, Buatsi is seen as one of the more promising contenders at light heavyweight, former bronze medalist in the Olympics, of course, and a 37-year-old Gvozdyk did a better job. So it's clear he has something left. Is he past his best? Yes. Is he no longer in his prime? Correct. That doesn't mean, however, he's a shot fighter. Just because a fighter is past his prime, it doesn't mean he's useless. And for me, what I saw in that fight with Bolotniks, it showed me that Gvozdyk still has something left to offer, and he's not shot. And one thing is for certain, he still hits relatively hard at light heavyweight. That makes this fight, in my opinion, a banana skin for David Benavidez. In fact, I'm surprised they went this route, to be honest with you, because it's one of those circumstances as to where if Benavidez were to win, people are going to say, well, you beat a 37-year-old who was retired, who was coming back, doesn't really prove much. If he's to look bad in the fight but win, then you got exposed. And if he's to get knocked out, then it's like disaster, right? Benavidez can't really win in this type of fight, in my opinion. And considering like what I believe Gvozdyk has left, I think that makes this fight a banana skin. I really do, because I believe Gvozdyk has more left than a lot of people believe. I think he's a lot more dangerous than a lot of people believe. Again, Gvozdyk's a guy who's got really good power, really good accuracy. He's an astute counterpuncher, doesn't waste much. And Benavidez is going to give you those opportunities. We've not seen Benavidez get hit by a guy who can hit as hard as Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Hate to break it to you, Caleb Plant can't bust a fucking grape. Andrade can't punch. And those guys were able to find the target on a regular basis. Gvozdyk's a much harder puncher. He's very precise, very accurate. And who knows what might happen if Gvozdyk finds those same shots as Plant did or Andrade did. Who knows what could happen? He's not fought a puncher like Gvozdyk. It's just that simple. Plus, we've not seen him fight somebody as big as Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk is a real light heavyweight. We've seen Benavidez always have the size advantage, and he will have it in this fight as well. However, he's not fought somebody as big and strong and powerful as Gvozdyk. Also, quite frankly, in my opinion, he's never fought anybody as skilled as Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Because I believe Gvozdyk is a level above Plant and Andrade, absolutely. You know, the more I think about this fight, the more I look forward to it. The more I think about this fight, the more I see it as a banana skin for Benavidez. And the more I think about this fight, the more I believe it will reveal about David Benavidez. Certainly in regards to punch resistance, things like that. It's an interesting fight. In fact, I've seen a couple of quote-unquote conspiracy theorists speculate that this could be a setup. Of course, right now the cash cow in boxing is Canelo Alvarez. And discussions about Canelo now can't be had without the name of David Benavidez. Many people want to see the Benavidez fight. However, Canelo, let's just be honest, doesn't seem too keen. Maybe some in boxing would like Benavidez out of the picture. Bear in mind, Gvozdyk is pretty close to Canelo. He's worked in several Canelo Alvarez camps as a sparring partner. I find that interesting. Benavidez has to take this fight seriously. Nobody's talking about this fight the way they should be, in my opinion. I think this is one of the more underrated fights on the schedule. I don't think this one is a foregone conclusion. Stylistically, I think Gvozdyk is a very dangerous fight for Benavidez. And also physically, power-wise, etc. It's a very dangerous fight for Benavidez. I like this fight is what I'm trying to say. Quite frankly, for me, this is the real main event on the 15th of June. I really like this fight. I'll make a prediction video nearer the time, I think. I need to think about this one. I really don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I'm telling you, this is a banana skin type fight for Benavidez. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.